Okay, so we're talking about here, where did these string shape assignments come from so that we could assign C to 3, 4, 5, G to 6, 7 root, D to 2, 3, 4, A to 5, 6, E to 7 root 2, and so on. And you can build a pattern up from there. This is the same one on top. If you don't like the colors, because these are key of C colors, for my guitar it's key of C colors, right? And you'll notice, so none of the numbers are on black notes, and that's the key of C on the piano, where you have white notes and you have your accidentals, your black notes. You have C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and even A sharp if you want to be in the key of B. Okay, because remember, the leading tone to the key is the new sharp. So B flat is the leading tone to the key of B. G sharp is the leading tone to the key of A. That's the sharp that you add each time. So the key of E is an interesting key because you have four sharps in it: F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp, which means the only white notes after that are the 1, 4, and the 5: E, A, and B. So that's what's interesting about the key of E. Over here, without the colors at all, and this is where do these come from is the question. So it's really independent of key. These are the cage shaped banners. So this is 1, 4, 5. It'll be an E shaped 4. Okay, because of the diminished fourth when we're counting in fourths. So we get an E shape, we get a diminished fourth shape wise when we're going from C to E. Otherwise, they're perfect fourths. G goes to C, D goes to G, A goes to D. Okay, this E goes to A. So they're in perfect fourths. Now, the problem, and then it goes to the fifth, by the way. This is a fourth and then to a fifth. So when C goes to F, but it's really an E shape, that F's going to go to a G shape. Okay, so really the only thing that's being substituted here is the E shape, and for the B, the actual B will substitute a C shape. Okay, now this C, where we have G, C, D, is an actual C shape. Okay, so we substitute the C shape for the B, we substitute the E shape for the F in the 1, 4, 5, but E also has its home base shape, which is in the A box, A, D, E. It's the same shape, it's just being used differently, a half step off. Same thing with the C. So you see the double sharing of notes here in the cage system. Okay, so we have, if we look at the cage, we've got C, A, G, E, D. We have all this overlap, okay, and we have the sharing of notes. So the 7R is shared, and also the 3, 4 is shared. So this 3, 4 is shared, this 3, 4, 5 is shared, whereas the other notes are only individual sharing of notes. Okay, so the 3, 4, 5 is going to share with the A shape 5, 6. 5 is the shared note. Okay, 5, 6 is going to share with the G shape 6, 7 root. 6 is the shared note. But 7 root 2 is going to share with 7 root 2. 6, 7 root is going to share with 7 root 2. 7 and root are the shared notes. The same thing holds for the third and the fourth in the C shape. So 2, 3, 4 is going to share the 3, 4 with 3, 4, 5. The D shape is going to share the 3, 4 with the C shape. So there's that double note sharing there, and that's only a half step there. Where do these things come from? The string definitions come from the bottom string of the shapes. Okay? Now remember, the top string and the bottom string are the same on the guitar. So if we're going to use banners on top here to represent the shared, and these go in fifths, so C goes to G, G goes to D in fifths, we have perfect shape neighbors here. We have no note sharing between C and G. So the defining bottom string for C is 3, 4, 5. The bottom string definition for the G shape is 6, 7 root. The bottom string from G to D, a fifth over that in shapes, in letter shapes, is 2, 3, 4. That's where we get the string, the new string definition assignments, okay? For A, it's 5, 6. Now looking at the caged, interleaving that, because we have a duplication of the top string and the bottom string, we could use that top string as a definition. So A starts up here. The A string is defined as the 5, 6. The E string assignment is defined as 7 root 2. Okay, so that's the same down here, 7 root 2. We could use that top string right there as a definition. That is where the definitions come from. The problem is that these are in the key of C. I have to let people know that. And what I've worked on this chart here is very interesting. What we have is the open frets for the 5 caged keys. So C would be here, A would be here, but it's fret note barred on that 5. G would be here, but it's fret note barred on that 6. Notice the 3, the 5, the 6, the root, and the 2 all have the green color because they're all the low E, the lowest note on your guitar. I like to do the hoarse voice. It gives me a low voice, but I can't do anything high. There's nothing in the middle. It's just squeaky high or really low, right? Regina Cello. Okay, so the E takes on the 3rd of C. The E would be the 5th of A. The E would be the 6th of G. The low E would be the root of E. And the low D, the low E would be the 2nd of D. Second, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. 2, 3, 4 down there. So, what are we driving at here? Sorry about that. So in this chart, and yes, this is a new chart. It's chart 129. What I was able to do is I was able to make the 1st fret, but I also extended these guys past. I extended them past the fret nut to include some no playables. They're not playable. They're playable if you do them an octave up. So let's look at that D. Okay, so the D shape would be, sorry, like that. Okay, so I guess it would start on a D shape, and that's important to remember. The low string is going to be the defining string shape of that cage, of the open string chord at least. The problem is you can't do a pattern on up because these are unplayables. They're below the fret nut. This would be your fret nut. My guitar just goes down a little further because it's down tuned 2 whole notes. So it's C tuned, which is something I did, and you know, it was something I did because I thought I had to do it. So the fret nut here, this fret right here, this one with the, you know, you can see some of the note foots there kind of